Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Error Season 1, Episode 2, Predator Movies. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Error.
Alright everybody, this is Duck, and welcome to We Are Error, a podcast about entertainment and whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Fuck
Tonight,
yes!
We are drinking, and we are talking about interesting shit. Because I like to drink, Jake likes to drink, Javi likes to drink, and Javi started this shit, so we blame you.
Ah, don't blame me.
Oh, guys, I don't like being an alcoholic.
Alright, we're gonna just take that. Let me take
No! I do like being an alcoholic. I thought you didn't drink after people. Don't fucking touch it.
Alright, listen. Here we go. Okay, we always need to start with the movie news, I feel, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So the biggest movie news this
Joaquin
week...
Phoenix is the Joker.
No. I'm
That was badass.
No,
He looks insane as a Joker.
We'll get
Arthur
there.
Fleck.
No, we'll get there. Okay, let's go with that. Okay. So, Joaquin Phoenix, they have released some set photos, but somebody did doctor up those photos. The guy's name, I don't give a fuck, but he did a great job. What did you guys think of the doctored up photo?
I only saw the No Country for Old Men looking photo.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, I actually
His
gave
little
it the old hey-oh,
Prince
hey-oh.
Valiant fucking pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
That weird-looking motherfucker. That's the doctor. What do you think of that, Scooby?
I already fucking thought this was going to be great.
Yeah.
And
So, do we think it's going under the theory of Joaquin is actually that theory that the Joker from Suicide Squad, okay, is actually Jason Todd? You don't think it's running under that? You don't think they're going to connect?
This is its own separate
Dude,
entity.
if you go by time, it would make. Well, I guess that wouldn't make sense. If the Joker was older in the 80s and then Batman started in the 90s,
that would make sense for it to be Jason Todd as that Joker in the Suicide
You've
Squad.
heard this theory, Hop?
Uh-uh.
Where Jason Todd is actually Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad is actually Jason Todd. Okay, the fact that if you ever watch Batman Beyond, the movie Return of the Joker takes I think Tim Drake in that version of it.
Yeah,
and he turns him into a mini Joker, kind of like how Batman has him being a mini Batman as Robin.
Yeah.
And so the storyline was going to go. It was based upon an Arkham Asylum game, I think, with Jason Todd with a J on the side of his face. And if you look at the Joker in Suicide Squad, he has a J on the side of his face. And the whole theory goes that this version of the Joker in Suicide Squad was taken and it corrupted into a new Joker by the old Joker.
I was going to say, there's also Robin Wings tattoos on them, like feathers tattooed on the Joker as well.
And then you see, like, there's hints to it the whole way through. So people are looking into, like, really deep into the lore. And this, for me, is what works about the Snyder universe, is the fact that they could do that. Now, it was so far-fetched and difficult, they probably couldn't. But what if this is a backdoor way of doing that? Having Joaquin playing the original Joker, showing in the Batman a younger Joker, because notice, the Joker movie's filming before the Batman movie. What if this shit's all interconnected? That would be fucking great.
I think they've explicitly said that this is just going to be its own one-off deal. They're not going to worry about sequels or anything else. They're just trying to tell a story of how a person could become corrupted.
Okay, so is it the Killing Joke? Are they doing
It's a reimagined version of the Killing Joke is the way that I've interpreted everything that I've heard about it.
Right. Now, what you were saying about the Arthur Fleck, what I was going to point out, though, is Kevin Smith put together the fact that A. Fleck is A. Affleck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, Kevin Smith, he's always on top of that shit.
Kevin. Kevin, we love you.
Yes, Kevin. You'll never hear this.
Yes,
we do.
You're amazing.
All right, so I was going to start with the fact that Henry Cavill is out. Have you all heard this?
Yeah, that sucks.
Now, whether it's true or not, we don't know at this point. But
what's he doing, The Witcher now? Did he
yes,
get The Witcher?
Yes, he's doing The Witcher.
He picked up The Witcher for
He's
Netflix.
He'll be pretty badass.
I don't know anything about The Witcher, and Henry Cavill is whatever to me. I don't care. All I know is he had a fucked up face in Justice League. But the
Thanks
fact
a
that
lot,
he's
Warner
taking
Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, you dumb fuck, or Paramount. Who are we blaming it on? I was listening to a podcast earlier.
Petty Mount.
Why didn't they just go full beard with him? He had a full beard.
Yeah.
That would have been badass.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have done that?
Right.
I don't know. But Cavill's out. We got Black Superman. We're getting Black Superman.
Am I going to Jordan for
baby.
real?
Yes.
They actually got him.
No.
There's a chance that...
How do you feel about Black Superman?
It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't I like how you said that? You want to come off as a racist?
It really doesn't. Like, it's like it didn't bother me when fucking Heimdall turned out to be black.
Dude, you said that so serious, like, don't judge me, bro. Listen, it doesn't bother me either. Wait, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me either, but if they do Black Superman, let's do Black everyone. Let's do Black Batman, let's do Black Aquaman, let's do
let's do a White Black Panther.
Let's do it! No, but seriously, does it really matter if we do Black Superman?
Well, you can't do a fucking white Luke Cage either, okay? Come on, there's certain things.
Okay, so do you think it's time, though, that... Well, here's what I think is funny, is you take the character, the actor, Michael B. Jordan, who played the black version of the
Johnny.
Which was fine. It's whatever. But at the same time, why is he the go-to for taking white characters into black characters? I don't understand why that's the go-to character. Look how nervous Javi is.
Because I'm just trying to think of how to phrase this.
Why? Who gives a fuck? Just say what you think, dude.
I think they like Michael B. Jordan for that.
He's an amazing actor.
He's universally liked and he's easily whitewashed.
He's the new Will Smith.
Right there, pretty much.
Good Lord, dude. That's a kind of valid point, actually.
Yeah. He's like very non-threatening.
I think it is time. I think it's time that they could do something like that. And they should
if they're going to do
that.
somebody that isn't the typical Superman, what they need to do is the Red Sun Superman.
They could.
That
do
would be the
inverse
most.
Russian
Yeah,
version of it.
exactly.
That would be great. I think they're doing that right now on Supergirl. They're doing a version of that, or they're doing that universe at this point. So that's kind of cool. Here's the other thing I noticed too about the last podcast. We are a group of bros. Okay.
Whoa.
A lot of people don't talk the way that we talk, and it's offensive. So if you're offended by this, you can
go fuck yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
Because
please,
seriously,
from the bottom
this
of my
is
heart.
how men talk. This is broadcast, okay? This is what we do.
Just because we're not PC doesn't mean we believe everything that we're saying.
Here's the thing that people need to
Fucking
understand.
faggots.
We've all worked in a comedy club. We've heard and seen fucking everything.
Not
We
me.
don't give a shit.
I don't even enjoy comedy. I fucking hate it.
He's a manager at a comedy club. Just in case you chance to pawn this.
I am not joking!
Alright, so, Black Batman,
What are we
Black
joking
Superman, Black Aquaman, White
Black
Panther.
Woman, please.
I think a black Aquaman could only improve his image at this point.
Dude.
I thought Aquaman was
sweet.
black already.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa's not black?
He's not black? That dude's not black?
Oh.
What is he?
He's
whatever
Mexican,
the Rock
isn't he?
Yeah.
Whatever
The
Rock
water
is.
Mexican, as
Yeah,
you were calling
right.
him. Yes.
The real wetback.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow, Avi, you took it to a place that I feel
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
Jesus.
Wow.
I was just joking about not joking.
All right. Solo, a Star Wars story, okay?
Do you think it's called Solo because people are watching it? It's like, man, I have sunk
Well,
Solo.
here's the thing. Did you watch it yet?
Hmm.
I'll take that. Have you watched it yet?
I just got it.
It's actually rather enjoyable. I enjoyed it. Now, the movie was the most expensive Star Wars movie ever made, coming in at $250 million. The reason why is because they filmed it fucking twice.
Well, yeah, they had to pay out Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah, exactly. They say don't say anything, which they didn't say jack shit, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
they lost a
But
bunch of shit.
That's
at
what
that point.
happens when you film your movie twice. Now, why they did that, I have no idea.
Like they
The
like
movie's
redid
fine.
the whole thing.
Justice League.
What? It's a very common thing. Why are they doing that? Because it's got to relate to everyone? It doesn't. Listen, I didn't like Batman vs. Superman the first time I saw it, but I came around to it eventually.
What it is, it's the higher
what
up
it means.
executives looking at statistics from which little beats in movies hit, and they're like, well, we need more laughters at this point right here. Well, we've hit the climax and we haven't introduced the black character yet, or
Right.
whatever else. They just go back
Michael
and
B.
they...
Jordan, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be Michael B. Jordan playing every single Avenger like fucking Nutty Professor, as all I can say. Michael B. Jordan as hers. God damn it. Just keep your hands out of it, Warner Brothers. Nobody fucking cares what you think,
Okay.
what we want. Let the fans speak.
Here's the thing, though. They refilmed it. It's not a bad movie by any stretch. I don't know what they filmed beforehand.
They don't even know what they filmed beforehand.
I would love to see it, because evidently there was whenever Han meets Chewie, it's a really brief scene in the movie. It's done okay. But evidently they filmed it for 3 weeks. There is no way that's a 3 week
Oh, they
thing
included
they
the
have.
love scene.
Oh, yeah, the sexy love
Definitely,
scene.
right?
The
Like,
dinner.
how does he explain that partnership?
Oh, the sexy dinner. Well, they're friends very quick in the movie. too.
Chewbacca's kind of like a pedophile if you think about it.
Well, he is much older. How much older is he?
Well, I mean, what? Han's
He's a
like
bear.
20 in the
Dude,
fucking...
you're
fucking
right.
Yoda,
In the gay community, they call that a bear. Chewie's a bear. Han's a twink. Shit's gone down.
Chewie would be a
fuck.
daddy bear.
Why would he be a daddy bear?
Because he's older and he's hairy and he's big. He's a daddy bear.
How do you know what that is?
Why would they call it a papa bear?
Yeah, why couldn't he be
Will that
a
make
bear?
Han his cub?
Yes. I think this conversation went in a way we didn't need it to go. That's
I can see
whatever,
how it's
dude.
more
I'm
than
just
honor.
trying to be lighthearted and funny, and you want to bring in this whole other fucking
You're
community.
bringing in way too much dialect from a place I
Jesus.
don't understand. Have you been a bear before?
I get called a bear a lot by gay. I told you, gay guys love me.
Hey,
You guys do love
do
bears.
bears really shit in the woods? You're
I'm not.
gay.
This is why I was bringing up the Solo, a Star Wars story, or whatever it was called. Oh, you guys haven't seen it. Shit.
It's alright.
Big spoilers.
Go
Do you
ahead.
care?
I already
Okay.
know what happens.
Okay, at the end of
We're
the
friends
movie,
with Mike. Of course, we don't care about
at the end
spoilers.
of the movie, Darth Maul shows up.
Really?
Oh shit! You don't care about spoilers?
Unwarranted cameo.
Yes,
What
Darth
the fuck
Maul
are you there
shows
for?
up,
His
okay?
name isn't Darth, it's just Maul.
Okay, so whenever he shows up at the end of it, when Ray Parks Jr. was in the theater watching, he was next to Ewan
Darth
McGregor.
Maul Paul Cop was there.
So he was next to Ewan McGregor, or whatever the guy's name is, who played Obi-Wan. And evidently he was all bro-moding when he was like, dude, you're in the fucking movie, guy, yeah, come on, sequels and shit. And Ray Parks goes, I was trying to watch the movie, but he's fucking talking, and I was the toad, and so...
Do you know what
Yeah.
happens to a toad when it's
Dude.
struck by lightning?
Well, here's my theory. They're going to do that. Evidently, they're not going to make a sequel to that. They didn't make enough money to do so. But I think if they took that movie, the Boba Fett movie, and the Obi-Wan movie, and made that a trilogy, that would actually work out.
What I think they should do is take the shit out of Kathleen Kennedy's hands and let J.J. Abrams do what the fuck he did with the fucking first one.
Yeah, but all he did with the first one was remake the original.
He gave fan service, and you know what? It was much better than the fucking reception that episode 1 got.
I'll take a JJ blowjob.
Yeah,
any day.
seriously.
You're not wrong about that.
He fucking catered to the goddamn
Yes.
fans, which is what we all wanted. And that's the same thing that they're not letting happen with the fucking WB DC movies.
Yep.
The fans are speaking. They're
Well, here's-
telling you exactly what they want. They gave you a great plot point. They said, hey, this new Joker should be Jason Todd. That would make total sense. The joke's on you now on the Robin suit, the fucking tattoos, the wings, and the...
Do you think it's too difficult for the mainstream audience to understand? Do you think it should go full fan service?
Yes.
On certain projects, yes, it should.
Yeah.
Because we know who's turning up to fucking
Okay,
watch these
this-
movies. Look at Deadpool,
Okay.
right?
You're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
You are 100%. Do 100% fan service on that. That's what they did with that movie.
Yes.
It was the number, top.
Highest grossing
grossing
rated R
rated R
movie of
movie
all
of all time.
time up at that
Well,
point.
let's bring that up right now. Because we're going to move from something that should be rated R that has not been. The Venom movie. Venom should be rated R.
Agreed.
There's no reason it shouldn't be based upon that trailer. Even though the trailer was a hard PG-13 trailer, they should go hard R. And
Symbiote.
They are not, though. They're going PG-13 with it. It's finally been released that they're going PG-13. There's a chance they'll do a rated R version of it if it does well. in
Extended
theaters.
cut, drop a
Exactly.
Blu-ray release.
Why? Why wouldn't you just go hard R with it? If the
Well-
trailer already looks like a hard R.
No, because Sony is milking every bit that they can out of this franchise before they have to turn it over, which will eventually happen. Nobody asked for this fucking movie.
I did.
Did you really?
I want this movie.
You want this movie.
Yes.
But they're not going to address Spider-Man at all.
We don't know that yet.
Yes, we do. They've
Are we
said that
100%
explicitly.
sure?
Sony has.
Okay.
It's not going to tie into any of this shit. Just
Well,
the symbiote.
I don't think
Symbiote.
that's true. I think what we're going to see is if it does well, they're going to make it canon and they're going to bring in Tom Holland. If it does not do well, they will do what they're doing right now, which is just the Rogues Gallery of Spider-Man.
So none of this shit's going to happen.
They're going to do Kraven the Hunter. They're going to do Mobius. They're going to do a Black Cat movie. All these plans to do these side characters, minus the Spider-Man. And keep in mind, they also have...
Well, the new Spider-Man is gearing up for the Sinister Six. They
I-
got Mysterio and Vulture
That's what I'm
already
saying.
in it.
They're taking the... If it does well, they will take this character and they will mix it together. Because you got to remember, Sony continues to have the right to Spider-Man, regardless of the fact that he's in the MCU.
Right, it's a joint deal on this.
Exactly.
I understand.
So there's even that clip of him talking to crazy bitch Sony leader. What is that lady? Amy Pascal.
Yeah.
Where Kevin Feige is talking to Amy Pascal, and she's like, "Oh no, Tom Holland's totally in." And he looks like, "Bitch, really, bitch." So it's everything hinges on Venom right now, and the problem was you went safe with it. And even Kevin Feige, when he saw Deadpool, said that was genius. We couldn't have done that over at Marvel.
Right.
But the fact that that was a Fox property at the time, what they did with it was amazing. And they've even talked about, now that Fox has been bought by Disney, that they might consider bringing Deadpool into the MCU.
He should.
I'm getting sick of all these fan theories
These
of
spams on these
what-
goddamn
what
planes!
the fuck is going to happen in Avengers 4 will. The Fantastic Four is going to be in there. They're going to bring Deadpool in. The X-Men guy's going to be there.
Well, I mean, even when you look back, I think
Slapstick from the comics, you remember him? He's going to be in there.
Well, all I'm saying is anything can happen at this point, dude. It's all
It
coming
can.
together, but it shouldn't. You're
No.
100% right. It shouldn't happen. Stay the course. Leave that shit where it needs to be.
Stick with the formula that has
That's
been
why
working.
I never had a problem with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four not being in the MCU, and I've told you this before.
Yes.
Because if you look at the comics history, X-Men and Fantastic Four
They were their
have
own
a close,
fucking things.
They have a close relationship. Spider-Man has always been its own universe with a strong rogues gallery, and all this other shit that was never mainstream was always below the radar. That's why those properties are owned by different companies, because they had to sell those properties.
Those are
to
the
make their money.
faces of the company.
Exactly.
But they
But
didn't
no
always
longer.
intersect.
No longer, because look at that right
Yeah,
there. That's the face of
exactly.
the company now. You have the Avengers. If you would have told us 15, 20 years ago that the Avengers would have been the hugest thing.
Iron Man was
Yeah.
going to be the movie that
No.
kicked off the Marvel franchise.
Never.
Are you fucking
Never.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Who read that? Nobody read Iron Man. You're like,
bless the rain.
you got our Iron Man comic, you're like, oh, thanks,
Dude, you're gonna watch a Thor
Grandma.
movie
Merry
and be
Christmas to you too.
Literally,
Why isn't that
you're going to watch Thor and you're going to be excited.
fucking bitch?
Like,
Give me X-Men.
No. The only thing that they did well was they kind of kept the Hulk with that weird, it's owned by Universal, but not really. We all love the Hulk.
Mark
Everyone's
Ruffalo's Hulk is by far the best.
Yeah,
out
it
of
is.
them.
When I saw the Avengers, the first movie, I fucking loved it.
And the way that they handled him in Thor Ragnarok, it was a buddy picture.
Oh yeah, it was
And
awesome.
they can get away doing that.
Like
And
the
I
weird
think
version
that's
of
better
BJ
if he
and
doesn't have to carry a movie by himself. He's going to be great as a supporting character. And they had the rights to use him like that in so many other things. So you can explore so many other projects without tainting the character and keeping some of the allure and
Do you think
mystique to him because you're not fucking just dumping it all on the screen.
Do you think the character of the Hulk is strong enough to hold a movie?
Do I think who is?
Like, do you think the character of the Hulk is strong enough to have an own standalone movie that actually...
Not at this point. The fact that they had to take Planet Hulk, like Jake was saying, and put it with Thor, make its own thing, I don't think as a standalone character it would have worked. I think that was a much better version of that comic that they put together. Now, here's the thing I would like to see is an Old Man Logan, which we saw Logan. Which
That
was a
would be
wonderful
badass. That
version.
should
The
be made
comic
into a
version of
movie.
Old Man Logan would be amazing.
Yes.
That would be so killer. And you have to have the Hulk in that. You have to have Hawkeye in that. You
It
have
hinges on all of
yes,
this.
exactly. But we'll never see that version because Logan already did an amazing version of Old Man Logan.
I know, but it was like... It just kind of grazed Old Man Logan a bit. That's
Have y'all
about it.
seen the noir version? It came with the Blu-rays, all black and white.
It's
It's
badass.
fucking dope.
But what's
It's
this?
so good. Logan Noir. It comes with
Oh,
the
yeah?
black,
It's just black and white.
I'll let you borrow it.
Killer.
I'll bring it to you next
Killer.
week.
All right, let's move on to something else a little bit more. Let's go back to what we were talking about before. Star Wars, okay? There is a major spoiler for Episode 9. Now, the question is, do we want to share this in this room? Have you heard about it yet?
You know what? I would say that I'm the biggest Star Wars fan in
Ever.
this room.
Ever, period, done.
And I'm okay with hearing the spoiler for Episode 9 because I was so let down with Episode 8. Like, my bar was set high after Episode 7. I was like, holy shit, they revived the fucking franchise.
Right.
And Ryan Johnson came in and fucking looped it and just fucking took a
He
whole
gave it a
shit on
looper.
it. Yeah, god damn it.
Take a blunderbuss to my friend.
God damn.
So, spoiler alert. Okay. Who is going to be a bad guy in Episode 9? Obviously, Snoke is dead. We got Kylo Ren.
That was a big fucking letdown.
Yeah. I kind of like
Why the fuck are you going to have
Here's
that
the
much
thing.
of a build-up for something and do him out
I
like
kind
that?
of like the fact that they took him out in Episode 8. I kind of like that because that builds up Kylo Ren. That gives him that extra boost because he
He's
was
a little more clout.
He was a pussy boy.
Yeah.
He got beat with a girl who never held a lightsaber before. Then all of a sudden he takes out the fucking Dark Jedi or Sith Master there. So now you got this badass. He's got to build from that. The second after he took him out, he was like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck all this. We're moving on. That gives him a little bit of clout, like you said. Now, here's the thing. Who was the one person who was against him kind of taking over?
Hux.
Neil? Yep, exactly. So who's going to turn tail on him in Episode 9? That's the spoiler. Hux is going to go to the Resistance and be a mole. It just makes sense.
Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's Hux?
I don't
He's
think
over the
it's
top,
names.
though, dude. He's all...
You know what that is? That's the director.
JJ, once again.
No, that was Ryan Johnson who made him way over the fucking top. Do you remember the
Dude,
beginning
he-
of the beginning of Episode 8? They had too many goddamn jokes in it already.
But he was already over the top in Episode 7.
He
It kinda
wanted to
worked.
be.
He screamed, he yelled, his eyes were turning red. But it worked for the movie because there was a progression.
Well, yeah, you
And
look at
episode
the
8
generals in the movies prior,
Well, all
4,
the bad
5, and
guys.
6, yes. They
All
are
the bad guys in
they're
episode
over the top, charismatic.
Exactly.
Carry out the orders for.
And Hux was so fucking over the top the whole time. I didn't know this. There's like deleted scenes that are like where Rose is like biting his fingers and shit like that. Like it's comedic as shit, dude. Like it's crazy. The deleted scenes from that movie are very comedic.
I would just like to go on the record and say, fuck you, Ryan Johnson.
Then Javi, would you like to go on the record and say something about Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, fuck you, Ryan Johnson.
And I was
Bitch!
I'm actually okay with that movie.
Yeah, fuck you too, Doug.
But anyhow, how do you feel about them turning tail and actually going to the resistance? Yeah, fine with it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, based upon the fact that we're going to talk about Halloween now, 2018, are you guys excited about this movie?
No.
Yeah.
What? Well, how could you be so divided? No, yes, yes, no, whatever that was. Why are you not excited?
For another Michael Myers movie? Why did I struggle
It's
with
not
that?
Austin Powers.
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
Mike
whoa.
Myers.
We're not getting another Austin Powers, Mike Myers movie?
Why are you not excited?
I don't
And why
know.
are you excited?
Oh, I just feel like...
Explain why you're not excited.
I don't know, I just think there's way too many Michael Myers movies. He had 1,000 reboots. Come on. If it didn't work before, what makes you think it's going to work now?
We'll tell you in a second. Why are you excited?
I just said yes because he said no. To be
Fair enough.
honest, yeah. When's the? What are you done?
I think
What are you doing?
I think this is the beginning of something they've been trying to do for a while, where they kind of, like you said with Star Wars Episode 7, where they did a reboot remake. Okay, it's the same thing. They're taking all the previous Halloween movies, they're throwing them out the window, throwing them out the door, saying, "Get out of here, bitch."
So they're throwing them out the window by
It's a-
bringing back the original
It's a
cast, kind
straight
of?
sequel to the original movie. Okay, but here's the problem with that. Did they not do that already with
H2O.
H2O? Exactly.
H2 fucking
So
O.
every 20 years they're going to do a sequel to the original movie and ignore everything else?
Maybe it's just a tradition now.
So what
You know?
they were going to do is they were going
Like
to...
Christmas, Halloween. Why not? Why do you have to wait 20 years? Why not do it every fucking year?
I can't wait for this year's sequel to the classic Halloween.
Yeah, I can't wait for this year's
Oh,
reboot.
God. They were going to recreate the original ending scene from the first Halloween, but they decided not to afterwards. They decided that the fan base was strong enough that they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to hand feed them the ending of that movie, so they understood what was going on in the new movie. I still have not watched the trailer for that, for the new Halloween. I cannot fucking wait to see it.
Who's directing it?
Some guy named Green, Seth Green.
Fucking shut the fuck
David
up.
Gordon Green.
Oh,
I was
okay.
about to say.
Whose real name is Seth Green.
Are you serious?
Some guy named David Gordon.
I know David Gordon Green.
Do you know him?
We played cricket together. I meant croquet. I said that wrong.
I gotta tell you this because this fucked me up so bad. When I read the headline, I got pissed. And here's the thing: I found out something about myself today. I've always wanted a reason to be mad at Christopher Nolan, and I did not know that. And the headline read, "Christopher Nolan doesn't like how his movies look on a TV." And my first thought was, you fucking artistic motherfucker. Finally, I knew it. You fucking asshole. You think so highly of yourself. I'm Christopher Nolan with my British accent, blah, blah, blah.
Hello, I'm Christopher Nolan. Welcome to my crib, and it's just some house full of smashed televisions. All of it garbage.
Every movie I've tried to play in my movies look like shot
Pure
on this TV.
bollocks.
Here's the problem, though. I read the article and I went, you know what, Christopher Nolan, you're right. I apologize.
That's why I film everything in 77mm.
Well, here's my thing. One of my biggest pet peeves. So you ever see the motion blur thing where on like modern TVs they'll get rid of that, where it'll move really quick? So
the soap opera effect, I believe. is what
yes,
you're talking
exactly.
about.
Most movies are
Big
filmed
with
at 24
4K.
frames a second. Okay, film has been filmed that way for a long time, but like you said, the soap opera effect,
Most
which is
films are
30
at
to
30.
60 frames a second, can't stand that. So whenever they do this motion blur thing, where they remove that, the movie moves too quick. It usually happens in wide pans, and it drives me crazy. Anytime I have a modern TV, I have to turn that shit
I
on.
feel like they got that down to a fine art now.
Dude, I hate that shit though. Like if a movie is meant to be seen at 24 frames a second, that's why I was never interested in seeing the Hobbit trilogy and I think they filmed at 60 frames per second.
Oh, it was the filming process why you weren't interested?
No.
Not the fact that they stretched out like a 30-minute story into
Okay.
fucking
Also,
9 hours.
The fact that Guillermo del Toro was supposed to direct those movies originally.
That's easy for you to say.
Dude, I would have been still pumped to see his fucking version of that. But anyhow,
Oh, he probably would have stole from somebody else.
But here's
Shut
my
the fuck up.
Wait, what
I'm
are you
just
talking
saying.
about?
Guillermo,
What are you talking about?
who does
What
Guillermo
Guillermo
del
does?
Toro?
Lady in the Water, he stole that fucking thing verbatim
what?
from a Swedish film student who made
Lady
a
in the
short
Water was by M. Night
Shut up,
Shyamalan.
fucking-
You fucking
film.
cocksucker.
Shape of Water. Shape of Water. The cunt chugger is incorrect. It wasn't Lady in the Water. It was Shape of Water. He stole that from a Swedish short film.
Shape of Water is a timeless classic being retold from the beginning of monster movies such as The Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Friend, did he not see The Creature of the Black Lagoon? Is that what you're saying?
No, I did. But in 2012 and 2010, there was a short film made by a Swedish film student. Exactly for... It's
I'm
like
going with
exact
Jake on this.
Fucking check
It's
tape!
just Creature of the Black Lagoon. Remake.
Check tape.
With
It ain't-
Romeo and Juliet, right?
Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. Did he not... Did she not fuck the fish, man?
Look, you know what? I can't ever think about this without thinking about the goddamn Amazon review. Like, why don't he get to see the fucking fish dick?
I watched this 2-hour movie and I didn't get to see the... I said that to
I know you did. The day after the goddamn shit came out on fucking release.
I didn't get to see the fish man's dick.
Yeah.
0 stars. Fucking genius, dude. Alright, what else we got? Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. We've hit almost everything. Okay, the Predators opening weekend box office. Lower than Predators. So basically, the movie made about $24 million this weekend, and they thought it was going to make way more.
Why? Why did they think it was going to make more is what I want to know.
Well, Shane Black directed it.
Yes.
Obviously, he has a huge fan base.
Oh,
People
and it's
love
got
his
the
movie.
one bad guy from the Logan movie. I like him,
Oh,
though.
yeah. He's the guy with the mechanical arm, I think.
Yeah, he was a
Cole
reaver.
Hauser? No,
He
no,
was
that's
pretty
not from
decent.
the-
I liked him in it. I also liked him in the Hatfields and McCoys. I don't know if you ever saw that on
No,
History
he
Channel.
wasn't
That show was
bad,
dope.
He wasn't bad, but evidently this movie has not made that much money, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. That leads us into our topic today. I want to talk about Predator movies because once again, surprise podcast. I didn't tell them we were going to talk about Predator movies. But I want to talk about Predator movies and what we like about them and which ones are good and why it has lasted the test of time and why it's a character that we want to see in films still. Whenever they announced the Predators a couple years ago, were you guys not pumped about that?
I was pumped, and I loved the Predators remake.
Predators was good.
Yeah.
I think we touched on this last week a little
We
bit.
did.
But
So we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So starting with the first movie, The Predator, starring Arnold. Okay. Actually, I need my notes. Shit.
I think that movie...
Vamp, my friends. Vamp.
well, I'll tell you what. For me, it was a blockbuster movie night the first time that I saw the Predator.
Okay.
Not the Predator.
So when you say
Predator.
when you say Predator, blockbuster movie, you went to Blockbuster.
Parents did.
Okay.
I was young at the time.
How old were you?
Predator came out, what, 87, 88?
That's what I'm checking.
89?
I want
I
to say
wanna
86.
I want to say 88. However, it was one that my parents brought home. And
So 1987. Okay.
Yeah.
So a young Jake, 1987.
I
you're
was
what,
5.
5 years old.
5.
Did you go to Blockbuster with him?
No, I just remember watching it in the living room, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
So they brought on the movie. Were you watching it with them? Did they invite you down, get the popcorn, get the pizza? Or
Yeah, it was like a regular thing on Friday nights. We'd have family movie
Dude.
night.
Now, we lived through a wonderful time in the 80s and early 90s where families would do that. They would go to the
Yes.
movie store, you'd go and look at the movie, actually pick up the
Yeah.
VHS.
It was a
Pick
treat.
it up, look at the back of it, read it, and go, that's fucked up. Or like you go to the horror movie section for me, they'd have like Doll Man, or
Yes.
Evil Dead, or they have some other fucked up shit I did not want to watch.
The
'cause I was not
fucking
ready.
Dead Alive movie
Oh, dude,
cover.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. That
All
was
these-
one that sticks out always.
Terrifying. They'd have wonderful movie posters. I remember seeing Alien 3, which we talked about
Yeah.
earlier. Never saw. I can never make it through Alien 3, but I remember being pumped about that. Or sometimes different VHS places or movie blockbusters and stuff like that. They'd have pamphlets where you could see upcoming movies.
Yes.
They have it release
Yes.
dates. You could go in there and pre-rent a movie.
Yeah.
You could save it.
It was internet the store at that
it was
time.
amazing.
That's what it was. That's
Remember
how you found out about
go
your
in and
upcoming
see, like
shit.
a whole wall full of VHS boxes. You grab the box, take it up to the counter.
I want-
bring out
They're
the
like,
movie.
oh yeah, we're out of this one.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Or even like small little grocery stores. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this. But
Yes.
they had VHS
Yes.
tapes and shit like that too.
Tom Thumb, Win
That was
Dixie.
great. Oh, it was wonderful. You kids don't understand how cool our childhood was.
No,
It
you
was
don't.
dope.
You little fucking
It was
assholes.
fucking amazing. The quality wasn't great on these movies, just so you know.
Oh,
At the
but
time, we thought they were.
If you were a Predator fan, it was
Yeah. Oh, it was
amazing.
amazing.
Actually,
So-
you know what? It still holds up to this fucking day.
And that's what we're talking about. 1987, The Predator came out. Written by Shane Black. And that's why we're talking about the new
Co-starring
one.
Shane Black.
Yes, he was in it. I
He
think
was Hawkins.
He gets killed first.
He was
doesn't
Hawkins. No, he wasn't. Jesse Ventura.
The body goes out first?
Yeah, we talked
Oh,
about those
shit.
last week also.
Listen, what is it about that movie that stands the test of time? Is it the action? Is it the way it's filmed? Is it the fact that it's in the jungle? Is it the fact that the last third of it is just Arnold covered in mud taking down another creature?
Yes to
What-
all the above.
Oh, dude, fucking amazing.
That was the quintessential macho male action movie of that time. Everybody
Dude, when they do that
aspired.
lock?
Oh,
Dylan,
yeah.
yeah, man.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah, the epic hands like, what's the matter, dude? I got you punching too many pencils behind the desk.
Here's the thing. We all want to live up to that macho-ness. There was an 80s macho-ness that slowly died out, but we all wanted to be kind of that Arnold, that Sly, that Van Damme. And speaking of Van Damme, he was in The Predator originally.
He was the original monster.
Exactly.
He was the original
Back when
Predator.
it looked like a beetle.
Was he
bug.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back when they didn't know what the Predator was going to look like.
He looked like a praying mantis fucked a fucking Beetleborg.
Exactly. and looked like vagina-colored pink. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no. They had him that bright orange because they didn't know how green... because green and blue did not work in the jungle.
Well, you can
Like they do with
chroma key
green
anything.
screen shit. But I'm
Exactly.
saying, like, the orange, they use that shit in the jungle.
You never saw that before?
No.
Where he literally, they show him in the... If you ever played Super Metroid, he looks like one of the praying mantis creatures from that.
They
He's
actually have. I saw a picture of him recently. I've seen several pictures from behind the scenes whenever Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally supposed to be the monster. They do have the actual monster suit that he's in, not just the fucking orange photo, the one that they can make him invisible in. You know what I'm talking about? To do the
Yeah.
CG effects.
Let me pull it up real quick so Javi can see how terrible it is.
So, apparently, he didn't realize that he was going to be spending his entire time inside of a
He
costume.
wasn't too happy about it. See that thing on
Yeah,
the
he
left?
complained about how much
That's
it...
Van Damme in that thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like in a praying mantis, kind of like jabbing at
Yeah.
that shit. Way before it was cool in Starship Troopers, man. He was a praying mantising that shit, right?
That's such a good movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Predator.
Starship
And
and Starship Troopers
they're
is
both
shit.
amazing. That's not
It
the,
is.
The point is, eventually they came up with the vagina face monster. Okay?
Loved it.
Loved it. James Cameron is actually supposedly the person who came up with that design idea, and then Rick Berman.
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker.
The alcohol took effect. Rick
Baker.
Yeah.
Rick Baker ended up making the final
Rick Baker?
costume, which they brought in towards the end.
Rick
of the movie.
Baker, also one of the greatest. If you don't know, you should know.
American
Look him
Werewolf in
up.
London.
He has
Yeah.
done everything that you love if you're a fan of pop culture movies.
So, what is it, once again, about that movie? You saw it when you were 5. How old were you when you saw it?
Fuck, man.
I was probably about 5 or 6. the first
Six.
You know
time.
what it was? Honestly, I had fucking G.I. Joes that looked a lot
Dude,
like
yes!
these motherfuckers,
Yes, 100%.
okay?
This is the best.
That's
So, like, you can play along. You can make up your own fucking
Yeah,
Predator
yeah,
storyline
yeah.
without having to watch the
Yeah.
goddamn cartoon. Everything else, you could...
And he was terrifying.
Oh my god!
The design is terrifying and amazing at the
Bro.
same time.
Yeah.
He becomes a modern classic horror, like monster.
Action horror was developed at
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Well, I will say, Aliens came out before
Wow.
this. That's
Aliens
the precursor
is so
to the
good.
action
And
horror
that's why I
genre,
kinda
because
tied
straight up
together.
Alien was a horror movie. It was not an action movie at all. It was a suspense thriller horror. But then Aliens came around with James Cameron,
Mhm.
and it...
I think you're right. I think that's a
Shift
very
to
valid
action.
point. When you look at Alien, horror movie, straight up.
Yeah.
It's a slasher horror movie.
Yeah.
And the spaceship is very condensed, it's very terrifying.
Right.
And then, like I said, singular killer. Then you have Aliens, which is an action version of that. That's why I remember people talking about Aliens versus Predator before it was Aliens versus Predator. Because it made sense to put the two things together.
Well, the precursor, honestly, was Terminator. Because it was an action thriller horror. Like, you're supposed to be afraid of the fucking Terminator. You don't know, it's like he's coming to get you. But then James Cameron, I think he got down to a finer...
We
what
talked
he
about
wanted
Like he
to get.
honed it in.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
knew what he was
And we
trying
honestly
to
talked
achieve.
about that. We talked about that earlier, me and Javi, how Alien and The Abyss are kind of alike, almost very similar.
Oh
films.
yeah, but
And
just
then Terminator-
without the horror aspect.
Exactly, and Terminator.
The humans are the fucking.
If you look at those movies, the way they build character, especially Alien and The Abyss, they're almost exactly similar. You have a group of people on a ship. You have a group of people underwater. You have an event that happens. You have an event that happens.
Yes.
You look at everything up until the climax. Those movies
It
are
parallels.
100% identical. And like I said, Jim Cameron directed The Abyss.
He did
Scott
Aliens.
directed Alien, but then he does Aliens.
James
which is
Cameron did
completely different.
Aliens.
Completely different. So it's kind of weird that they... I don't know what the parallel is there because I've been drinking, but it intrigues me nonetheless.
There's a parallel.
But let's talk more about
They're
this.
saying water is nicer to you, space is evil.
But
Space wants to eat you
people
and
always
impregnate
say-
you. Water wants to help you save you.
What are the two final frontiers? Underwater? Because we haven't found
Oh,
anything.
yeah,
They
the-
just found
yeah.
10 species
The mar-
this week
yeah,
that
the-
we never even knew
The
about.
Yeah.
deepest part of the ocean is like space,
Exactly.
essentially.
Yeah.
You have to have special equipment to reach it.
That's
And even then, you
why
can't
we
reach
have
it.
sequence,
There has to be a fucking
motherfuckers.
machine that goes all the way down there.
Oh,
You can't go.
goddamn
You'll
right.
And who went
Peace,
down in
goddamn
that-
Jonathan Brandis.
Wait. Who went down in that machine? James Cameron.
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah. He filmed that fucking shit, though. He went down on that machine, honestly. He fucking made a living off that shit. You think about fucking Titanic? Holy fuck.
Dude, if you go down on a... Alright, remember the movie AI? If you go down on a sex robot, does it pretend like it comes, or does it really come?
Does it shoot like an artificial like flavoring in your mouth? Like, oh, what do I want to taste today? My love bot,
Sir,
give
with-
me pineapple. Tonight I want ranch.
Oh God.
Jeez. Alright, back on track. Predator 2.
Loved it.
Loved it. How you feel, Javi? Predator 2, Danny Glover.
I don't remember that one. I know
It's the
exactly.
same movie
So
as
check it
Saw.
out.
I just keep thinking about Predator 1.
Danny Glover. You
Okay.
got Bill Paxton,
Bill Paxton.
Aliens alumni.
Yup.
Game over, man.
Badass. They have the most manly death in that movie.
Okay.
Was the way Hudson went out.
Talk about
Oh,
I love
Yeah,
the way Hudson
yeah,
went
yeah,
out.
exactly.
Like they're getting sworn in the fucking what was the infirmary,
yes.
and the fucking alien takes a fucking plate out, and he falls in. That guy was like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "Sure." And he knows that they bleed acid. He doesn't give a
Yep.
fuck. He's gonna take out as many as possible.
Well, he had to because he was such a bitch throughout the majority of the movie.
He lived like a bitch, but he died like a fucking man.
Yeah.
it. So, you have not seen Predator 2 in a while?
And it's been a minute.
Alright, so it went from
Ruben
the...
Blades.
Listen, it went from the jungle to
To
the
the city.
urban jungle, motherfucker. That's what happened in that movie.
L.A.
You-
1997.
Now, mind
Oh.
you, this movie, 1990, you go from Arnold Schwarzenegger, the biggest, the baddest, the 80s star, to...
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Exactly. That's where you go. How do you one up? You downgrade about 10, okay? So Danny,
Let's set the bar real
Listen,
fucking low.
let's get Angels in the outfield. It's Danny Glover. Okay?
Let's get going fishing with
Now, mind you, it did have Gary Busey.
Yeah. And
Now-
he was a bad motherfucker.
And that will play into something we're going to talk about here in a minute.
His
okay?
son.
Ah, exactly.
Alright, go on.
Okay, so Predator 2 takes place in urban jungle. Predator's back. Big, bad, whatever. Best thing is when he takes out that Jamaican drug dealer.
Oh,
pulls
King
that-
Willie.
I remember that
Yeah.
sign. I
He
remember
Pulls
that.
down
the
his
shit.
spine and drinks the blood, dude. Oh,
Okay,
come
so that
on.
whole scene, Danny Glover goes and meets him in the alleyway. He's like, what the fuck is going on with all these killings? He knows that King Willie, or whatever, the fucking voodoo drug dealer, is his main
Willie.
fucking target, considering, according to the LAPD. That's who he should be going after. He meets up with this guy in the middle of a fucking alley, and he's
Did he have
fucking...
a tank or something like that when he's driving around the
Nah,
tank?
he's in a fucking stupid limo. But either way, he's throwing goddamn chicken bones on a fucking 55-gallon drum. And it's like, nobody sees. He coming night. Like, whatever. And he's back there like, what? You're crazy, man. And then as soon as Danny Glover leaves, the motherfucker jumps off the top of the building. He was listening to that whole fucking conversation.
Yeah, the Predator, yeah.
And he pulls out his fucking knife from his fucking cane and he goes full on.
Because 90s Jamaican guys always had huge fucking knives. I
Remember Mark for Death fucking Steven Seagal? He fought the fucking twin Jamaican motherfuckers. The
Jamaican
blonde
guys always had on short vests
Ugh.
and giant knives.
and dreadlocks.
Oh,
Dreadlocks out of the ass crack,
I mean,
obviously.
that's the part that always made sense to me because the Predator has dreadlocks, Why wouldn't he fight
Yeah.
another guy with dreadlocks? Maybe it was just a beef.
And
about
they're
the
always
locks.
like, no woman, no cry. Either way, these motherfuckers got
Dude,
the
I love your
jamming.
impression because it sounds like what's that Captain Phillips movie?
Look at me.
I am the captain now.
I am the captain.
I am the captain now. Look at me, Predator. I am the captain now.
I am very certain they
I
did
am
not
the
say
predator.
this in the fucking movie.
So, anyhow, the big thing that everyone remembers from the end of Predator 2 is the fact that there's a giant battle. Danny Glover, Gary Busey gets taken out. And then at the end, Danny Glover wins somehow. I don't fucking remember. But at the end, there
Was that
is a
pre or
hint.
post motorcycle accident Busey?
Ooh,
Pre.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that was an insane Busey.
Yeah.
No, he
it
was still insane.
crazy.
He's
He was
always
still
been
crazy.
insane, but
But at
he's
the
just
end of
not
the movie,
as.
There's the most wonderful Easter egg that was ever made. There is an alien exoskeleton skull.
The xenomorph skull in the trophy room.
Exactly. And that's what everyone always talks about.
You know
And
what?
that was the hint that
They're
there was going to be
connected.
something more.
So this movie came out whenever I was 10 years old.
Mhm.
I fucking noticed that after like watching the VHS copy 3, 7, 8 times with my cousin. We're sitting in the living room one day, acting it out. Let's play Predator! Yeah.
And you gotta do the fangs.
Yeah. Alright, well you're the black guy then. Either way.
You're the Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Michael B. Jordan, he'll be a great replacement for Arnold.
He's black but not 30.
Yeah. Actually, if you rearrange the words Michael B. Jordan, it spells out Danny Glover. Either way. Well, it's like I had to fucking pause it. You know how long it took to fucking pause it in the right spot?
Oh,
with
yeah.
a rewind on there,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
the,
it's like-
the fucking fuzz on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
What you had to do, you had to pause like 30 seconds and you just had to hit
Oh, yeah.
pause.
That's
a whole bunch of
xenomorph
times.
skull.
Oh, yeah. It's craziness. But anyhow, they had the xenomorph skull there. We saw that and we all thought, oh, that's going to be cool as shit. That's happening any day now.
Time to come.
It would take
14 years.
14 years, you're right.
Came out
Alien
2004.
vs. Predator took 14 years to make 2004. Okay? Now, Alien vs. Predator was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Not Paul Anderson. Not Paul
yeah.
Thompson. Paul W.S. Anderson.
I
Who had been known for
Anderson.
Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love Mortal Kombat.
Strong fucking
Those
repertoire.
are $500
After that, he made
sunglasses,
Event
asshole.
Horizon. Event Horizon's the
Movie still scares me. Still scares me.
And then he made Aliens vs. Predator. Now,
No.
but Aliens vs. Predator is a terrible.
What did he make after
Really?
all?
Am I the only minority here that actually likes
Now, please explain to me what you like about it.
AVP?
Everyone calls it V now after Batman v Superman. So, what do you like about that movie?
I just like the fact that that's my first time ever seeing the Predator and the Xenomorph fucking on the same screen
Fucking.
together. And just like going head to head and shit.
Getting down and
They
dirty.
do fuck. They have an offspring
Well,
in the fucking next one.
Well, let's talk about that. Other than the ending, what you're talking about, they fighting.
Sam
with
and
the
Nathan
Predator.
is fucking hot.
She is. I'm not gonna lie to you. She is smoking hot. But here's the thing.
Dinner.
The movie is done and done. The movie is a weird movie.
It is.
I like some of the stuff because it is video game logic in a big bad way. And
I
like
thought
that.
you liked it because it took place in a Mayan temple.
That's what I was gonna say. The fact that it is such a weird concept. They're in the Arctic or they're somewhere frozen.
And there's a Mayan temple
There's
in
a
the
Mayan
Arctic.
temple underneath it.
And for some
then-
reason, Bishop is still involved.
Was Bishop in that?
I
Oh,
think-
no.
I
He
think
was-
Lance
Whoa,
Henriksen
He was Wayland.
whoa.
He was Wayland.
He was in it.
He was an ancestor to Wayland.
I call Bishop.
What do you think Bishop is? Bishop is a ancestor to Wayland, just like David and fucking Walter and Alien Covenant. He's a
alright.
precursor to them.
So, but he was literally named Wayland in the movie, wasn't he?
No, I think it was.
I don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure he was.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what?
so.
To be honest, I really don't care that much about it.
Anyhow, the movie goes on. The only thing that bothered me about Aliens vs. Predator is at the end it becomes like a buddy cop movie between the girl
I'm too old for this shit.
and the Predator, and they gotta go take on the alien. Like they're sharing the spear.
I will admit
and the
that was a
shield
little
and
bit
shit.
where, like, when he marked her with
Yeah.
alien blood and
You know,
shit.
like she earned it or something. She didn't do jack shit. All she did was survive in the fucking Mayan temple.
Oh, but I think it
You
also
think
showed
she
like
earned it?
I think it showed a level to the Predator that we've never known before.
Do you think the Predator
I
wanted to
think he
fuck
was-
her?
Dude, he was a soft predator, is what it was.
You think
No,
it's a soft Predator?
I think the term predator is goddamn perfect for everything that's going on with this goddamn conversation.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, just have a seat.
He brought a 6-pack. He brought
Yeah.
some wine coolers to her. Yeah.
He brought his vagina mouth.
You ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in
What
overcoat?
That's right.
What What do you remember about that movie other than that? There was a fight at the end. It went okay.
I just remember thinking it was pretty cool that the Predator, you killed his animal.
Once again, Javi, I'm going to go back to the fact that you really like the girl at the end of the movie.
She's hot.
About it. You can't base the whole liking off the movie off that.
Actually, I based a lot of my movies based on that criteria.
He can base whatever movie he likes off that criteria. There's certain movies that I know that are gigantic pieces of shit, but I like it for certain stupid reasons.
Yeah.
Name one.
Maximum Overdrive.
All right, because of the gay chick.
It's because of that Yeardley Smith.
Yeah. Actually, it's because Commissioner Gordon. Because praying for Batman to come and use his bazooka the Batman gave him.
All right, that brings us to the sequel to Aliens vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
You already heard this last week. Just turn it off.
No. We haven't put out the commentary track. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, okay? Which we decided that the Alien Predator hybrid's name was Requiem, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
How was the movie to you guys? We watched this.
It was awful.
Awful. Because of the lack of
hot black chicks.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Truly a steaming pile of shit!
That was the best part about it, was that Gilbert Godfrey
Guilford Godbraid.
Gilbert Godfrey actually got a role finally. There's really not much else to say about that movie. It was terrible. It was awful.
Yeah, it's not good.
And then, so the last movie, The Predators. Yes.
Predators was
Oh,
the shit.
that's right. Predators. What do we like about Predators? The fact that they played into the Aliens vs. Predator thing by calling Aliens, Predator, Predators as a direct sequel, just adding the S. I thought that was fucking genius. They did that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was great.
And it delivered on that fact
Absolutely.
also.
The fact that they went back
There
to
were
the
two
original,
different breeds.
Well, they went back to the original and had the idea of the jungle. We had the jungle setting, which is great.
It was their world.
You know what? You guys, this might be the actual first remake / reboot movie that they made. I never even thought about that.
Well, technically not.
What was
I'm
the first?
sure. Well, I can't. But
I'm pretty sure
if
that
I
was
had
it.
some files in front of me, I'm sure I could figure it out. But I don't think it's the first reboot remake.
It's pretty close. I mean, when you look at the idea of the jungle atmosphere.
They talk about Arnold in the movie.
Do they?
Yeah, they fucking reference that there was a man in the jungle in
they
Costa
do,
Rica
yeah.
or whatever that
That's
had
fucking killer.
encountered one of these before.
And then they're on an alien planet. They're basically it's a hunting reservation.
It's a game preserve.
Yeah, exactly.
Predators.
It's wonderful. The fact that they go in there and the predators have to kind of man up. They have to learn how to do their thing before they go out to these other planets. So they bring in all these
The hardened killers of the world.
Exactly. And the fact that there are twists within that, and I think also the great thing is to use the predator as a killer again, to remove them from the atmosphere, to make them the shadow that lurks behind the trees, is a wonderful aspect of that movie. And then as you get into the character building, like we talked about, Topher Grace, has a wonderful twist in that movie.
Who's the true monster here?
Well, who is?
That's why.
Topher Grace.
That's all I'm saying. Like these people, they're not the best people.
Exactly.
They're all fucking mercenaries, fucking cartel
Serial
members,
killers.
fucking goddamn current cons, serial killers taken out of prison, uncaught serial killers, mercenaries, and just in general.
One of my favorite things
People who
about
kill with no remorse.
was they used the tried and true Treasure Island, where they had somebody who was captive on the island for a long time. I think in Treasure Island, the character's name was Ben or something like
Yes.
that. And they used that same character in Lawrence Fishburne, where there's somebody who's been on the island or on that planet forever, who's been hiding, who has not been
Should have been
found.
Tom Hanks.
But still, he went out like a bitch. He goes out so quick in that movie. I never understood
You
that.
know what? Because his character fucking sucked, and the part that they wrote for him sucked.
What was the character you guys were talking about before?
He's
that?
like, shh.
Well, it was kind of like Bill
can
in
hear
the
you.
first movie.
Oh,
can
Billy
smell
was
you.
badass. But for Predators, it was the guy from the Yakuza.
The Yakuza guy. That's
Yeah.
right. And then at the end, Adrian Brody is left with some random girl. That's all I
She apparently was supposed to be the girl from the first Predator movie. Yes,
What?
the Mexican chick who lives the Spanish lady. I don't know how to say it because he made me
I love
fuck.
how you tried to buy it back.
Costa Rican?
She's
know.
Latina. It's fine.
She's
Whatever she
Latina.
wants.
Look, to me, whatever.
They're all the same. to
She's South
Jake.
American Mexican. Either way,
She's a water Mexican.
she is supposed to be that chick.
From the original movie?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Well, they never played into that, so she just
They
ended up in
talk
some
about
raid.
it, but
They
they don't.
should've.
So they hinted to it, but it wasn't really.
She even mentioned it. I've seen this before.
Oh, shit. She did? Oh,
That is-
shit.
Interesting.
And then what happens to them after they actually kill a predator? They're still stuck on the fucking...
Yeah.
They are.
planet.
And they see more parachutes and fucking cargo dropping down.
So they become-
Another round of prey.
So it's never ending.
Yeah.
It's fucking
on a
genius.
cycle.
So does
Well,
that
they didn't-
movie hold up to the original Predator? It's not as good.
It's not as good, but
It's
I
pretty
would
close.
hold it in the same class as
Yeah.
Predator 1 and 2.
Right on.
I disown AVP and AVPR.
Yeah.
As well, they should be the same.
All right, so we're going to now at this time we're going to actually watch The Predator, the new one, and we're going to come back probably even drunker and try to talk about it.
No, asshole.
We're going to the
We're in the
movie.
movie theater right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I
God damn it,
forgot.
be
I'm
quiet.
sorry, everybody in row G.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget, Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.